Chicka chicka. Alright, that's tested. We're going to have this tested soon.
Oh yeah, go ahead and use up all your good luck. You silly person.
Am I silly?
Yes.
Okay. That's working. Not the right music directly, but you know, hey.
There's music.
Sorry.
What'd you do, Kenya?
Yeah, on accident. I'm really sorry.
Birds isn't ever sorry. He was losing his fucking mind earlier. Like I said, he saw the long hair and he was like, "Rah!" I was like, God damn.
He's been making nice with Tiger lately.
Tiger, yeah. The other one, no.
They have a common enemy. Hello and welcome, everyone, to Monday Night Smite.
Than the one you don't. At least this one we're not being bullied by blue people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm short.
They might be blue, you don't know.
No.
They just blow up and blind us.
Yeah.
No, they're just fucking weird-ass boggart things. I swear they might be boggarts.
They might be.
It sounds like some weird, goofy Fae thing. But I won't know until I get up all in that
Oops.
sacred text.
Did not mean to click either thing.
I'm hoping we get to the library.
That's what I want to do. I need to research.
And I'm a little concerned about this female that we're going to be meeting.
Speaking of which, I haven't used it in a while, but I have to double check. What
Hey,
stage
and
it's
speaking of which, we can roll for recap.
I crit failed.
Then you get to go, because it's Lois gets to go.
No. If I'm
Oh, I
out,
got
though,
a 20?
Woo!
Does that mean
That
I
means
get
you
to
get to recap. You crit.
17 from Fluff.
So I crit failed.
Did you really? Oh my,
my
god,
God.
you did.
I told
Guys,
you. I don't remember.
guys. There are other numbers besides 1 and 20.
No, there's not.
That's the second time I crit failed a recap. I'm just not designed to remember.
Despite the fact that you're now playing a...
A book mage, yes.
Okay.
You have failed your book.
So I have my notes here saying the names of the two guards that you had met.
Yes. I actually have some of the shit written down.
I do too.
I also have here a note that says 3 Zvarts in a trench coat.
No,
No.
fuck you.
That's a mistake. You're reading that wrong.
And Umber Hulk Hogan.
That one might be familiar.
So these are the notes that I've got prepared for tonight's game.
I have to get out of all the fucking
Erases
Final Fantasy
them.
crap.
Oh, what is
Alright.
life? So, Nick,
Why does he get to recap again?
because he rolled lowest,
I mean, if
you'll get your chance. Don't
No.
worry.
if
I
she
don't care
wants to,
anymore.
she crit.
Nope,
Come
I don't
on.
care. You do it.
Well, now I don't want to do it.
Well, now you have to.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Come now,
Yes.
children.
I refuse. Now she's being all pitey.
I wanted to do it.
Well,
You-
then
do
do
it.
it.
No,
Then go
you
ahead.
didn't want me
Do
to
it.
do it.
Go ahead and do it then.
Well, now I don't want to.
Now who's being fussy? I'm legit having to look up a thing because it might actually like come into play in about 5-10 minutes.
So we made it out of the forest. We got separated there for a second, but we were able to get back together and get out. We didn't kill the big magey thing that was trying to kill us, but we did kill a few more blasty thingies that we're not really sure what they are, but possibly goblins. We get out, we go and talk to the guards. The guards let us know that they don't know what those things are. We ask about researching it. They let us know that most of the precious books have been moved into the castle by the lady because no prince. I don't remember why. Was it because of fires or because of town dangers or
What?
why the library had been moved into the castle?
Oh no, she just took some of the more important texts into the castle.
So
And
was it
then
for
locked
any
off the
particular
library
reason?
for the most part because there's not that many people around.
Right. We also learned that the town is crawling with reanimating deads.
Read that, if you will.
So that's a concern of ours that we might look into. But we're more concerned with trying to get into a library. We decided to go rest because the 2 non-blood drinkers needed it. And we're pending daybreak so that we can go bug the lady of the castle without seeming rude. We also got a level. The end.
Did we get a level?
Yeah.
You ought to be level 3 by now.
Yeah. Yes,
I
we
know
should.
you are.
I'm 2.
Well, then you have fucking failed.
I wasn't told we got a level.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, we were told.
No,
Yes,
actually,
you
I
were.
wasn't.
We were, though.
Well, everybody got the memo before me.
You all got it at the same time.
At the end of the last... Fluffy, what level are you?
3.
See?
Well, I can fix it because it's max for the health for the first couple levels. The only thing it's gonna take me a minute.
So, was
is
that a good
spells.
enough recap for me to occasionally get picked for recap from now on?
Well, you got to roll for it.
Yeah, stop rolling 20s. You selfish person.
We are going for high anyway. I was fucking with you.
It was rude.
Okay, I was still messing with you.
You were still being rude.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
I
she
accept
does
that.
have a point.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't quite matter, but yes.
I
you
guess
did.
the nice thing is, now being this level, I don't think I get any special wizard shit.
No, because you got that at number 2, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I think the next one's at 6.
probably. So, does anyone have anything else to add to the recap?
Well,
No?
let me see. If I wrote anything
Section
specific.
5.
Okay, that's it. There's a card.
I got to be a fucking ninja and disappear into the ether while in the woods. That's about it.
Arcane and monster research books are all in Sonia's care. Rest of the library is locked down. Sentinels do not patrol the wood. Guards are unaware of the strange creatures. So, no. Basically, mostly what you covered.
So I believe about now it's been 24 hours since I've drank blood.
Does that mean you're going to have the shakes?
I don't know, I'm just letting Quinn know
The
that
shimmy,
I'm
shimmy
tracking
shakes.
it so that he can tell me when I'm going to go mad and bite one of you.
Well, let's put it this way. You're probably going to do your next save versus blood on your hands at a penalty.
Well, I mean, you do have a
I do.
yeah,
I know.
and that
I
was
forgot
that was basically worth 2 feedings.
Well, I haven't used it yet. I just am waiting until I have to.
You might want to not wait too long.
I don't
So
think
you
I
guys,
did the
you
light.
guys are finishing a long rest. You turned in for the rest of
Yes.
the evening.
You bullied me with pretend Svarts. I remember that.
I like bullying you with Svarts, pretend and otherwise. Svarts are the new kobolds.
Yeah, except less acceptable. Which I know, that's a lot.
I mean, I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. You will.
That's got to count for something, right?
No.
Doesn't the DM get to have fun?
No.
Just gonna throw it out there. Kobolds get pack tactics.
So what I heard is give the Svarts pack tactics.
I swear to God, Fluffy, I will come down to
Hold on.
fucking Phoenix and kill you.
He's not
I'm not
living
in
Phoenix.
Phoenix, so
Fucking,
good job.
If you went to Phoenix, I'm pretty sure you'd get lost.
I would get lost. But no, I'm gonna go down there and kick his ass. 'Cause reasons.
All right, I've written that one down.
No! Fuck off.
Svarts getting pack tactics.
I hate you.
And
They
while
don't
there's
need
3
pack
of 'em-
tactics. They already
And while
get
there's
like
3 of
fuck
them
you
in a
damage
trench
with
coat, they
doing it
all
from a
get
biz.
advantage.
Yep. The pack tactics is specific to the 3 Svarts in a trench coat.
Bullshit. such bullshit.
my goal will be for you to wake up one night in cold sweats thinking there was Varts around.
No.
I want that to happen at least once. That'll be my victory complete.
Oh, do I get arcane recovery already?
You should have already had that at level 1.
Oh.
Level 1 or level 2, you should have had it.
Oh, I did have it.
Because right now you should be getting 2 spell levels.
I'm getting some new spells. I actually hit 2nd level spells. Yeah.
Because I think arcane recovery rounds up.
Yes. Spell slots can have a combined total level that's equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up. That's why.
Yeah, so first level, so you can recover 2 first level spells.
Or a second.
Or a second.
But I'd probably do the 2 first, since I'm spending 1 by default on mage armor.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily just write off one of your levels of arcane recovery and just have mage armor up. That's fine. I'll easily allow for that. So, with the new dawn...
Yeah. So 1 more first level
You.
spell and 1 more
Why?
second level spell.
You, I think we're going to have make a constitution save.
Because
Uh-huh.
Bitey?
Because bitey.
You made fun of me and now you get to suffer. And hopefully my door is still locked.
16, 21.
Okay, you're fine.
I do not want to drink the blood.
Do you want to drink the blood? You resisting drinking the blood?
I don't want to drink the blood. My body thinks it wants to, but I don't want to.
Okay, mind over matter, got it.
Yeah.
Aha.
Your lips say no, but your body says more.
No.
Yes.
By the way, you need to start that one art piece again. No.
Which
What
one?
art piece?
The Sybil art piece you keep talking about.
Oh, yeah, I want to draw that. I was
Sybil
actually thinking about that. Gosh, just
Yeah.
like, yes, I need to do that.
That should be what you do after you finish my cards.
All the cards?
All the cards. Straight shot to the end.
Each time
There's
I gain a
still
level, I
like
add
20 of them,
20
yeah.
something
of
cards
my
to do.
choice.
Yep, not that many.
That's a lot of cards, my friend. That's at least 20 hours of work. At least.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and make them the 2 new ones.
But everybody has awoken.
The sleeper has awakened.
I wasn't sleeping.
Oh, la-ti-da.
I'm probably pacing about the inn.
No,
At
you're
the-
probably tinkering with shit.
Yeah, that's true. Because I made a thing.
You made a thing.
I did make a thing.
Did you make a new
You
thing?
spent all night making a thing.
I
Is
had
it
to
a
do something
boomstick?
while I waited for them to sleep.
Exactly.
Driving me crazy waiting.
Or you cannot be like an undead creature of the night. How about that?
No.
So then don't bitch
refuse.
about those that have to sleep.
Because I'm all the best Helsing things mixed into one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're alright.
Ouch.
Wow.
It
I
only hurts a little.
mean,
Why are you
kind
so
of is
mean to me?
Ceres Victoria.
Like I said, Sybil is essentially is Ceres's body, Alucard's,
Vampirism.
fighting style.
Personality.
No, kind of
I'm not apologizing.
Integra's wardrobe, kind of her personality too.
Agaznar's Scorch.
And Busty.
Like I
What's
said, the
the
body of
cool-
Ceres.
I can't remember the cool butler guy's name. He was
Walter.
awesome.
Walter.
Walter. Yeah. Walter.
He does what the butler does.
Takes out the trash.
Hmm.
You might have Walter's personality.
I'd be okay with that.
Man, it's gonna be hard picking spells.
Let's just hope you don't have Pip's libido.
What?
I
Isn't
mean,
Pip the one she drank?
yep,
Like the only one she drank?
yep.
Okay, so Goofy
Pip-
Frenchman.
Pip Benoit,
Okay, I'm not that far into the series.
leader of the wild geese.
We had to
Question
post
mark,
our mortality
question mark,
rates.
question mark?
They're the only ones that applied.
basically mercenaries that they hired into the organization.
French mercenaries.
Yeah, they're French.
Of course they are.
Of course they are.
You say that like you're disappointed.
But these ones are actually awesome. So you know, hi Sin. No. Anyway, you convene down in the main lobby.
I'm actually the last one down. Surprisingly so, seeing as I didn't have to wake up.
Yeah, you got busy.
So then, are we heading to the castle?
Might as well, I suppose.
Yes.
I think this lady should know about what's running around in her forest.
Well, not only just that, but we do need to know what we're dealing with.
Probably would help kill it. I suppose I will lead us towards the castle. I mean, I was kind of there with Lisa.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's very easy to navigate your way to the keep. It's
Right there.
kind of right there.
Oh.
There's kind of on patrol, not even so much on patrol, but keeping watch over the far end of the bridge is one of the hunters, kind of flanked by these centurions. Which you found a pair of them going onto the bridge on the close end, a pair on the far end, kind of posted sentries, and then one kind of keeping human eyes.
So this hunter is just like the town's hunter? Is it like a special monster hunter? Like, what do you mean by
The hunters that have been acting as guards around town.
Okay. So like the guys we talked to, right?
Like the guys you talked, yeah, they're all basically hunters
Okay.
that have banded together with the lady of the keep.
I guess we need to make it through that person then.
He sees you coming up, and you know he'll kind of straighten himself up off the wall and kind of give you a nod, just help you.
Same to you, mate.
What my companion means is that we're needing to speak with the lady of the castle.
Right. We had a couple of the others saying you might be in. Come to the courtyard. We'll get you straight away.
They all sound like they've been minorly drinking.
They probably have in this town.
What the hell?
Okay, so that's an attack roll.
Big black map.
That's a save.
Yeah, I don't know why it turned to that.
So I chose Tasha's Mind
There.
Whip as one of my spells. The other spell, I'm torn between Scorching Ray, Mel's Acid Arrow, or Snillock's Snowball Swarm.
Well, that sounds like a whole thing for you to figure out.
Well, I'm kind of proposing it towards my two allies.
Can you say it again?
Well, Mel's Acid Arrow,
Mm-hmm.
Scorching Ray,
Mm-hmm.
or Snillock's Snowball Swarm. One's a dex save versus cold, one's an attacks versus armor spell. And
Reserves, then I
acid, I
think.
think, is a save. No, it's an attack versus armor too.
If memory
have-
serves, then we're gonna might be tangling with some vampire types, and I don't think they're particularly fond of fire.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's go with the Scorching Ray. I'll probably try to pick up the other two on the next level up. If I make it that far.
It's always a possibility you won't.
It's not for lack of trying. God, why is my wisdom so high?
Wise guy.
You
It's a
are the
19.
rare wizard with common sense.
Yet despite that,
I think Scotty has a high wisdom. Maybe not.
I don't know. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
I don't even know what I want to take for a feat. That's going to be coming up next level.
I'm sure we're not getting that level for a bit, my friend.
Oh, I know.
We're out of prologue.
Well, we're still on the cusp of it. But yeah,
We're out
technically.
of prologue.
Mostly. But you are ushered into the main courtyard. Alright. And set to wait briefly, but not for too horrible long.
Actually, I'll wait on that until we actually leave either the higher trafficked parts of the city or enter the woods again.
And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that has that crease there, but why not?
The bigger, blacker map.
Yes, the bigger, blacker map, because for whatever reason,
The biggest, blackest map.
Hey! Yay!
Bigger, blacker, uncut.
Does that mean
This-
we're supposed to be saying
I'm gonna flip you guys back and forth here. There we go.
The room up there at the top with all the pillars, that was the room. That was the dynamic shadows that were amazing.
Yeah, those cast the most amazing shadows.
1, 7,
This is where we want to be?
2.
Yeah, you guys. I'm just giving you. You can zoom out for just a general layout of what you're going on against.
Okay.
Because I don't actually think I have their pictures here, which is fine.
I vaguely remember what they look like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have their tokens anymore. But
Did we actually see him before?
no, you haven't seen them before. Fluffy had, because he's had to deal with them.
Yep.
Briefly.
I was here when we liberated this goddamn city.
Yep. That was a fun fight.
So is this a
It
carryover?
was.
Or a different campaign altogether?
It was a different campaign.
I gotcha.
I've mentioned Vantis and his brother. Vantis is the paladin here because you were also
Delmore, I
there
think,
when
is
we
some shit.
liberated this damn city.
Yes, he was.
Specifically, Zyman has been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I got context.
And Kess was here tue.
Rested up and...
Oh, hey. There they are.
To meet with the lady.
Simon, actually, last I heard, is somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't know where, but I know he was coming to this region of the world.
Somewhere around here.
Do we just want her books, or do we also want to ask her for the key to the library?
We'll see how negotiations go.
Okay. Oh shit, I even have tokens for the hunters. Nice. I really should look at this shit more often.
What hunters?
One's patrolling about town, I'm guessing.
Yeah, them generic ass hunters.
They look like tieflings. They look like tiefling
No, those
jugglers.
those aren't them. You know. But from the courtyard, you are led across the courtyard and into the main hall. And you see more of the centurions posted about. They're not exactly
ones?
Huh?
The marble ones?
Yeah.
Huh.
It seems like their presence is a little more heavily packed in this area. But you don't see a horrible lot of them. Inside the throne room, it looks like, as you open these great doors, it looks like they've seen some wear in recent history, but it looks like there's a small effort to get them repaired.
Mm-hmm.
And much of the great hall that lies beyond still remains in less than presentable fashion. And sitting up from the throne on the far end of the hall, is a young woman with kind of sandy blonde hair. And we will go ahead and put that up. Ba-da-ba-da.
Hey, I remembered her.
Yeah.
Sonia, right?
Sonia. And kind
it's like if Sypha and Trevor had a daughter. A little bit.
I had the entire lineage worked out. I just don't have the page on me.
Fair enough.
And sitting on the arm of the chair next to her is another individual.
Oh, that guy. Or girl.
That girl.
Girl. To be honest, I read that as Michael at first.
But these are the two people who are sat there. As they will kind of rise to kind of greet you. They will introduce themselves as such. This is... Welcome to Borisov. My name is Sonia. This is my friend Michelle. I hear that you've rolled in with the Paladin recently.
Veritas, right?
Vantis, yes.
Vantis.
Well, Least I can say you are coming with fairly respected company.
I feel like there's a pointed look at our big bosom poet shirt gal. Ow. Ah, she's so huge. She towers over us like a titan.
Of industry.
Bees and the eagles. Da, 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 da.
And that one of you has had a rather unfortunate incident befall you.
You could call it that.
Now, which one of you was it?
I'm pale, but it's because I read a lot. I don't know what they're
All of you
are.
are pale.
Side-eyes poet shirt.
Yes.
I just kind of go like...
had an unfortunate event.
Well, she's already been equated with Vista.
Yes, him. Well, I haven't a whole lot to say about that one just at the moment, but for the time being, he's proven himself useful.
Out of character, I'm sure he's playing the long con. Like, I can almost fucking bet actual money on it. But I know he's also, like, a vampire and patient as fuck, and he's not gonna do anything until just the right time and the stars align and all that shit. Like, I know he's waiting for specific events to happen, and then he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna step in right here and take over everything. That is my 2 cents.
I'll tell you what I told him. You mind yourself, and we won't have a problem.
Yeah, Vantis was about as courteous, actually.
I will not be a concern. Best behavior.
Good. Because we've had far too much trouble around here to handle elsewise. And it's not like in the history of my family, unusual allies hadn't been made.
Well, the problems you're having around here is why we've come to talk to you.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong before we get into that. The one who attacked you hasn't been laid low?
Not yet. It's on the top of my list.
It wasn't for lack of trying.
I'm not going to doubt that. I just want to make for sure that my knowledge is as up to date as possible, especially when there's rumors of a new vampire in the area. You can understand with the company I'm keeping around here why I would like as detailed a report on it as possible.
Correct. He batted away.
I can't give you much details on it. I woke up when the paladin dropped me. I don't really remember being bit, but I have all intentions to putting him down before I move on.
Well, best of luck to that. One way or the other, the one who attacked you will be destroyed. If he's been hanging around here and is not of the same company that Mr. Saint Blank insists, then it will not do.
Well, no, he was less than impressed that there was a vampire just randomly sirening things around.
Yes, I'm sure he was well aware of what was going to happen to him over it, or at very least the amount of scrutiny he's now been put under. But I trust that our alliances continue to be honored there. Yeah, well, we have to hope that. From the girl next to her.
We'll side-eye her for any aggression towards the vampiric topic.
To whom?
The female behind her.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Looks to be keeping an eye on all of you. Doesn't seem overly hostile.
She's like a bodyguard / lover. Or childhood friend.
Childhood friend.
Says it can't be both.
What is the Tulio and Miguel meme? Both. Both is good.
Both is good. They aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
No, they're not.
In fact, a lot of childhood relationships blossom into something of that nature. You grow fond of those you were around the longest.
Sonia will relax a little bit. Just, you will tell me if you find anything more on this vampire.
However you'd like it, yes.
Along that same note, so we found some interesting creatures within the God's Wood.
Yes, I've heard from some of my hunters that you took it upon yourselves to go into the God's Wood last night. Well, what have you found?
Well, they looked like goblins, but upon being slain, they exploded into light.
They were also instantly hostile, despite any attempt of us to just identify them.
All right. So them exploding upon death would make it hard for you to determine, well, to give proof of such a thing.
Proof and any form of really autopsy of the bodies.
I picked up some of the dust when we were there.
Did you?
Uh-huh. I remember doing this.
Okay.
Iocane powder.
Well, it's not much proof, but I had collected some of the ash that was left behind after one of their explosions. I was interested in experimenting with it.
At this point, Michelle will kind of walk forward and just... Can I see some of it?
I'll hand over the small vial of it.
Just kind of looks it over in the darkened hall before kind of reaching into her bag and pulling out a small, what looks to be a small opal that she'll just kind of rub lightly, and it starts shining with a light and just kind of shaking. It's just, well, from the looks of it, and she'll kind of rub the jewel again and put it away, just and hand the vial back to you. It's like, well, it's not campfire ash, I'll tell you that much. Can't make hide or hair of it otherwise.
Well,
Sonia will just kind of nod, sitting back and, kind of thoughtfully.
Yeah, our story has credence.
If even a little.
Well, it's at least not staged ash. To a point. It's ash of some creature.
I mean, I've never heard of anything like that personally, but...
Which brings us to the other reason we're here.
Yes, I would have imagined there was more than just a simple report.
Well, these things are kind of a mystery. And we are told that you have possession of all the reasonable prints in the town.
Everything that isn't essentially local gossip and useless town records now. Moved everything we could into a more defensible location.
I don't suppose I could get a look at those texts.
And what texts are you looking for?
Primarily the ones that have to deal with arcane or, well, basically kind of more bestial creatures. I'm hoping to maybe cross-reference a couple of things, and maybe be able to better identify exactly what it was we came across in the Godswood.
Go ahead and give me a check on your persuasion.
I'm about as charismatic. Actually, I have decent. It has no proficiency, but it's at least decent.
Well, roll decent then.
17.
She'll kind of give you a once-over, studying you fairly.
If it helps, I have one of these, and I present my Man of Tau emblem.
Her eyes will drift down to that and just... We had one of your order actually come through here not very long ago.
Do you remember which one it was? Or who it was, I should say.
His name was... he was a short man. I'm having a hard time remembering his name. I think he called himself Opicrio.
Does that actually ring a bell?
You can roll history.
I would love to.
God, it shouldn't be that hard to remember. He only went around telling everybody his name.
Yeah.
Right.
She's had a lot on her mind, okay?
17 again.
17 again?
Mm-hmm.
You remember this to be a gnomish individual.
Oh, Opie!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You're like, oh yeah, Opie. He went out for a while. Something about learning the something about writing a dissertation about the lasting effects of compulsion magic and the
His specialty.
it's basically how people could influence the mind and how and if magic could do so on a more permanent basis.
Oh my. He was going into all that domination shit.
He was an interesting individual, friendly. And him and a measure of people with him helped us come up here for... Well, they helped get us where we are.
What does that roll for?
It wasn't a roll.
Oh.
She was getting her token set up. Not her token, but her little portrait.
Yeah, portrait.
Well, I at least know of your people, and so far you're in fairly good standing.
mean, if
who are
anything-
you?
Huh?
Who are you?
Myself? I am Nick Arcaded.
Nick. All right. Well, I suppose we could let you in to check through some of our tomes to see if you can...
Oh, I just realized Fluffy's not using his cam. Are
Just
you?
not. Mm-hmm.
Not quite session 1.
No, like session 3.
It's session 5.
Is session 5 now?
I've been.
Oh wow.
numbering them.
Okay, yeah, we're on session 5. Nice.
I guess I could have counted that out.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1,
Yeah,
2,
I was
3,
just basing that off of your
yeah,
level.
5.
Prologue stuff.
So I should group these closer together.
Anywho, I am using my cam. It's just not working because Quinn's games always hate my cams for some fucking
worked
reason.
They really
Yesterday.
do. They
It
really
literally
do.
worked yesterday.
Well, it's working today because I can see me.
Oh, well, that's...
Maybe we just need to refresh or something.
Yeah, maybe. But it's relatively... Figured that out. We can give you access to some of our materials.
Some is a start, and it's more than enough.
We'll probably bring you up to the library and...
Basically going to be treated like, oh fuck, what was his name? Sir Reginald or whatever the fuck?
Saint Germain.
Saint Germain.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you can
They're-
look at these books and nothing else.
Yeah. You can keep... they're going to allow you access to some of their local histories and whatnot to see if you can't, piece together something.
Oh, I was gonna make the Chinese joke, but I can't remember your Chinese culture's name. It's like
Minya or
come up-
Ochol were the
Yeah,
old
it's like-
ones.
Ochol and Merlon were the...
Merlon, that's
Merlon.
what
Merlon is the Japanese analog. Ochol is the Chinese one.
Okay, Olcho. It's like they have this fancy design there. It's toilet paper.
No,
What the fuck is toilet paper?
stop that. As you were saying.
I want to ask if they have any monster hunters in the city currently, and I also wanted to ask if they have a weaponsmith in the city.
Again, will side-eye poet shirt. Like the fuck you think I am?
Well, I'd kind of look at her, and I'm like,
The only one who would be even casually, formally trained in the hunting of such things is myself.
yeah. She's got lineage.
As far as anyone who would be an armorer in the city, we have a couple of people here who are Fletchers, but nobody who works in steel.
Oh, not even like a dwarven smith or something?
It's unfortunate.
No, to be honest, we're a dozen people who have spent most of our lives around within a few miles of this place,
Yeah.
looking for a way to come back in.
Yet another game where there's like a dozen people just struggling.
Yeah,
that we have
well,
to help out.
Shit gets real.
Like first they were drow, now they're apparently humans for the most part.
Humans, half elves.
Yeah.
You've seen.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping to speak to somebody about the craft that I'm experimenting with myself.
Oh, I have an idea. Do you have a scrapyard?
Scrapyard.
Yeah, anywhere where you have bits and bobs of no longer useful metal.
Well, we have a blacksmith that... I mean, what scraps we could put, we've put in the smithy.
Mm-hmm.
But with such little manpower. We've been able to take what we can to fashion more arrows with, but very little besides.
Got any silverware?
A healthy amount of silver wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, I wouldn't presume to go into like antiquities, but
Well, there's not
anything
much.
of reasonable grade.
There's not much of value left in the city, save the old books that we were able to scrap together.
That's at least a start.
I mean,
Nothing we've been able to access anyway.
we'll have to look through the books and see.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Nothing that you've been able to access?
There was an armory that was supposed to be within the city, but we've not been able to find it. We would think it would be somewhere in the keep because it's the more defended place here. But we've looked through all of our own tomes and materials that we haven't been able to find where such a place would be.
It's essentially a family trove, you could say, yes? Do you have any books from your forebears?
We have very little in the way of that sort of knowledge. I have a family journal, but it doesn't speak of anything more than certain creatures and how to how to combat them. It's generations old and probably one of my most prized possessions.
Latin.
I do not understand what you're going on about.
It's our names in Latin.
Unitus, Agro Draco Felis, and Habius.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, that's cool.
Fair enough.
So we have the library. Alright, we're just gonna have to start.
Yeah,
with
it's
the
definitely a
books to figure
start,
out-
and I will try to keep an eye out for any clues that the books may have that may reference or even peripherally like allude to the hold, so to speak, for the armory. I mean, I'm probably not going to get very far because that information's probably more tied with her journal, but I won't push for that. I'd rather like at least identify the creatures from the Godswood, any alternative things we need to look into, and then just kind of go from there.
I want to check in with one more thing. We kind of got into this issue in the Godward looking for that banshee screeching sound. Visa said that it might be something we might want to check into. But the guards were mentioning that you were having an uprise of the undead.
Well, it's not so much a uprising, more like a constant struggle.
People die, people rise. People die, people rise.
I really don't want to think about that possibility right now. There are so few of us that I just do not want to think of losing any more of what is essentially my family. When your colleague and his associates came through here, we cut a path to the keep to take it. And since then, we've mostly fortified. We've gained some headway in clearing out some of our old friends and neighbors, but there are many houses that we don't want to disturb for, suppose, half of it respect, the other half is we don't know how poking at these houses, if it will stir up more trouble than we can handle.
I can understand that you'd be cautious with the amount of resources that you have currently, but I just wanted to offer our assistance in that while we're studying to figure out what the things in the Godwoods are. Though I don't think they're staying in there because the noises come from multiple areas from my understanding.
They had been outside the walls, but they're getting close.
Well,
if you're really looking to repopulate the city, then doesn't that mean you're going to eventually need to deal with the stragglers?
Yes, we are, but we need...
This land's almost like it's been cursed.
It's been a struggle. We have been trying to reach out and gather support enough that we can it's been a struggle to get people in through here. Sarah Laurentière has been trying to negotiate with his superiors in sending more men this way who could bolster us enough to clear the city. We cannot really spare the men to venture to the nearby towns to let people know that Borisov is on the cusp of returning to some semblance of its former glory. And the small detachment from the Crimson Cross has been less than, how can we say, amicable to be what is essentially a cleanup crew. They keep certain lanes safe for us to traverse as we try and rebuild things, but they're not an extermination presence.
well, if it's bringing in people you want to do, once we finish this business with the banshee screaming thing, possibly these exploding goblins, and I've killed the man who bit me, then I'm on my way to take care of some family business. And I'd be more than happy to stop around the towns and give them what news I can, and see if perhaps we can get some people here to assist in your endeavors.
Faison will point at her insignia or whatever of the Silver Lanterns. Well, he managed to get some reinforcement.
Yes, I was a little curious as to your association with them. It's not... Well, forgive me for saying, but it's not that I've seen much in the way of the knighthood being armed and equipped such as yourself.
I'm a bit of a special case, I guess you could say.
tip of the iceberg.
Well, regardless, if even you are with you here, perhaps we can hope that this is the first small trickle of support from your particular order coming this way. I hear that Vantis' superiors, especially after the darkness that followed us retaking the castle, it has put a lot of people on edge.
Where was I during the darkness? Was I just in a library?
Reading by candlelight.
I was like, well, what else is new? But step outside. I was like, oh, is it already that time?
You were already in Targovishta,
Okay.
basically doing your research, just kind of preparing for your. You basically got stuck there during the darkness.
Like, what do you mean I can't leave yet?
It's not even that you can't leave, it's just that no one wanted to kind of venture out. Even in such a large city, a normally dreary place, but then, a supernatural darkness just kind of blankets the land. Your caravan kind of got canceled. So yeah, for much of that whole thing, you were stuck, not even able to go back to the Isle, as the connection points had been disrupted.
Fair enough.
If you are willing to help clear out some of the issues we're having, we will find a way to compensate you for your efforts. There's not much that we have here, but we're resourceful enough and we can get some payment to you for it.
Well, with the help that I've gotten from Vista, right? Vista, I feel that I could pay it forward to the town. And honestly, this will be a good experience before I move on to what I need to do. And as for my offer to check in the other towns to try to send you support, is that something you're willing to accept?
I'm very much willing to accept your assistance.
Then I'll do my
With
best.
gratitude.
Yeah, D&D Castlevania, basically.
Kind of. It's like, this whole campaign is kind of like, I don't know, you throw in hints of Curse of Strahd, you throw in Castlevania, you throw in Supernatural, you hit the frappe button.
Well then, we should get to studying. We need to know more about these exploding things, and perhaps a little bit more on the tax of cleaning up the undead.
I could probably find that easily enough.
Yeah, it's not all going to be up to you. I've spent plenty of my time researching, and I am eager to see these books too.
Okay then.
Ah, jeez.
Stop exploding.
Yeah, I need to.
I mean, essentially,
I don't think
Vista's kind of like Lestat.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, he's either Lestat or Marcus, and Marcus was more of a bastard.
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
So he's gonna be Marcus.
Nah, I'd probably be more Lestat. Lestat's more interesting. To
You've
me,
been
anyway.
blessed.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, my arm hurt from that.
Well, don't hold on your sneezes. You're gonna explode, literally.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna come apart at the seams. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Sneezes, throws arm out of socket.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty terrible, actually. God, I'm old. All right.
what's that say for me? You're only slightly older than me.
I remember when the fur Elise was pinned, okay? Calm down. So, with that, they can guide you up to a small second story room
Yes,
that
yes.
has some worn shelves. But seems to have been made into a makeshift study. Why the hell did that get all dark all of a sudden? That's what I want to know.
Poltergeist.
Darkness comes again. Second wave.
No, gross. We don't need any more of that.
Oh no, that'll be.
That's
Yes.
3 months in.
That's how people get
Imprisoning
love to see.
me? All
It-
that I see. Absolute horror.
Yet somehow tastes the marzipan. I don't even know why. So, there's several tomes just kind of lined up and stacked. It's kind of haphazard.
Well, my OCD is gonna make me organize them.
Probably.
Let's first find out what we're dealing with.
A lot of it is history.
Yes.
There do seem to be books of local legend and kind of an esoteric. It's in no real order. So it will take you a while to kind of sift through things to see, to kind of make hide or hair of it.
Blair. See, even just multiplying my age by 365 would not be accurate because every 4 years you have to add a date.
I mean, it wouldn't be
Yes,
full.
Google days since your birthday. It
Oh,
seems
so they
to
already
work.
did that. Okay, cool.
Oh, nice.
Came up with 12,556.
I figured that would have been. I'm not even going to venture that on.
Shut up.
How old are you?
Let's
Are you
not
only
talk about
like
my age.
10?
Yes.
I'm older than 10.
Oh no, like 10,266 or something like that.
Something of that nature. But regardless, you can go about starting to organize the books.
Yes, I would like to do that.
You can definitely, we will consider that a proficient intelligence.
I'll take it. So yeah. All right, that's a modified 20.
Right. So, yeah, it takes you probably a good hour or two, and I'm assuming you're getting help from other people, but
If they want
I will
to.
help. Yeah.
You've got nothing but time on your hands.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Mortal
We're-
vampire.
will begrudgingly help since I'm already here.
Yeah.
Come on, you two long-lived things, while I'm still young.
But you have you put the books in this area into some semblance of order and can begin your research in earnest. Um
Not even 10,000.
Can't help that I was born so much younger than you guys.
I know Fluffy's in his
So-
20s, so that's gonna make us like 15,000 or something like that.
So you've gone ahead and organized some of the books.
As we're organizing, can I ask some questions?
To
Well, first to Faisana.
yeah, by all means, discuss amongst yourselves. I'll be a fly on the wall. That's fine.
All right. Well, as we're shuffling books about, I will work up the nerve to speak to the elfish thing.
Elffish?
Oh, I'm not quite sure.
It's a half-elf.
What?
You. She's trying to work up the courage to talk to you.
Not a half elf.
No? Are you a
See?
full elf?
Yes.
I don't know. You don't really tell us shit about your character. Are you a boy or a girl? Yes. But what gender are you? Evil. What's in your pants?
Do
Do. Kind of shit.
But yes, to the elf.
Its name is Faisana.
You gave me a look when I was asking for any experienced hunters. You don't seem like the paladins that you're hanging about, but are you a hunter?
Well, I mean, she survived with us when we went to the Gods
I'm
Wood.
not asking you. Shut up and let us role play.
Fine. I need to roll for my books.
Well, I mean, given I am different than the other of my order, I suppose, but given what kind of things are going on here, I feel like yeah, I was probably brought here for a reason, and hunting is kind of my thing.
Are you traditionally trained in it, or is it just a hobby of yours?
I would call it anything but traditional.
We disappeared.
On a different map.
I'm deciding where you guys are actually posted up.
Is that why you're traveling around with the paladins, so you can further your training on this matter?
I follow them around more as an obligation, I guess. But yeah,
An obligation? You mean like a faith calling?
sure, we can go with that.
I'm
Doesn't-
not that kind of class.
It doesn't seem that you're all that chatty about the matters.
Just don't really see where it matters a whole lot. I'm here now.
Fair enough. Perhaps I haven't given you enough reason to speak to me about such matters. I mean, I am something that normally you would hunt and kill.
Creature of the night.
Simple-minded. I know that some of your kind can be decent folk. Most
Not very
aren't.
many. Only recently this kind. For this, I was just a normal human girl studying in... Crap, what's the name? I know it starts with a D.
Delishi?
Delishi. But things happen.
Yeah, I was there.
I just like to imagine you're saying this all out loud, and at one point you're like, "Oh, what's that place with a D?" And I just pipe up from a book, Delishi.
That's fine.
Canon.
And yeah, I'm talking where you can hear.
Yeah,
As long as you're talking in character, Brett.
I am talking in character. I'm busy
Um.
reading, but also adding notes to my own little copious book.
But here it is, cards on the table. I'm looking to become a craftsman. I want to craft weapons that will not be raised from one human being to another in a fight, such barbaric means. I want to craft weapons that will end these kind of tragedies. These unchecked vampires, the rising of the undead, exploding goblins. Add that to the list. I want to, in, I suppose, very basic terms, becomes an arms dealer for hunters such as... I would say you're kind, but you've all but denied being a hunter.
It's not that kind of hunter.
I denied being a hunter? What?
I said you all but denied it.
Said I wasn't classically trained.
Well, what are you then? I'm French.
Oh no.
Where do you think I got this outrageous accent?
Oh no. Can't have that.
Yeah, my right leg's getting a little like
It's a little
roasty
hot.
toasty. I'm like,
So-
I'm itching. Oh, I'm burning alive. That's what's happening.
Cool.
I'm looking for people such as yourselves, and such as our companion Nick here, knowledgeable people, hunters specifically, that could aid in my endeavors. Now, that might not sound too interesting to you, but there's also another reason that I'm doing this. There's something I need to find and kill.
A myconid vampire? God, that's a scary thought.
Zvart.
That's a fungus thing.
Zvart vampire.
No. No! Don't you dare! I will fucking kill you.
Carry on, carry on.
No! God damn it, Fluffy. I hate you. I don't know why I have such problems with them. I just do. Like, every character going forward is gonna have fucking fairy fire.
I mean, it's always a good thing to have.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to get it, because you have to be able to access the druid list.
It's a first level spell, just saying.
But you have to be a druid, or something that druids.
Mage training thing is a thing. Whatever that feat is that lets you pick spells.
Might have to.
Magic Initiate. That's the one I was thinking of.
And I have a decent wisdom, so I could do that. Just kind of feels like a waste of a feat because you just like to fucking bully me.
I'm not apologizing.
With invisi-blue assholes.
So you want to make weapons?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe?
She said yes.
Oh. Like that one you've got there.
Well, yes. I do have a... they are my favorite things to experiment with.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Well, some constructive criticism. It's a bit loud for my tastes, but if you manage to make one that's not, I'd be willing to try it out.
Invents the silencer muzzle.
To this, Sybil will laugh, amused with the feedback. I have noticed that it is ear-splitting. It's a work in progress.
What are you again? Like some kind of artificer?
Yeah.
Are you not an artificer? Or is that just the loosest term for it?
I'm an artificer.
Because like I just had a wicked thought about the inventor Thundersmith.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of the things I'm gonna get eventually. But it's right up your alley because it's like guns. But they're like thunder lightning cannons.
Yeah. Build a silencer. I'll try one.
Fairy Fire. Bard, Druid, Light Domain, Cleric, Archfey, Warlock, and Artificer. I guess that gives me some option.
It does.
Do you an option for every caster stat?
Yeah,
I
but
heard you
Artificer's
mention
the only
Bard.
one.
So as you're going on,
No Sorcerer Wizard, though.
There are many improvements that I plan for these things. It's just going to take time and field testing,
Actually, I
collecting
take that back.
information.
You could probably get it with Sorcerer. In a weird, funky bloodline. You seem so put out. What's the matter?
she's trying to have a conversation, and you're kind of out.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
But anyway, I'm looking for people such as yourselves to not only continue researching with, but there is something important I need to do and a thing that I need to hunt down and kill. So, people such as yourselves willing to hunt something other than myself would be helpful.
Well, I assume that thing being the thing that bit you.
No. I mean, it's made itself on its list, which is annoying and is going to take up more of my time, but right before the darkness hit, I had received a letter from my parents. See, my family was bred and mostly raised out here. We traveled the world a bit with my father. Very interesting man. And they have gone missing. I have reason to believe that it was due to something that happened in my childhood. There's a nasty thing around that may be targeting my family and will need to die. So, why I came back to my homeland, why I've suddenly changed into a weaponsmith from what I had originally been studying, and why I want to kill monsters so badly.
Well, not knowing what it is that you want to hunt, I can't give any more detailed advice, but
I'm kind of reminded of an adage where you either die a hero or you live long enough to become a monster.
Well, we'll see which one happens for myself.
Sometimes you die and become the monster.
Exactly.
but
Or you put some tables in.
hunting monsters is kind of my calling, I guess. So if you find it, I don't have a problem helping you put it down.
Oh, that's more than I could hope for coming from a monster hunter to a monster, so I'll take it. I appreciate that.
Then I saw pictures of like, oh fuck.
That's
Like
a
I
wild
said-
Jess.
Like I said, I'm not simple. I know that your kind don't all have to be monsters.
May have a bias against believing that.
Well, I think the bias here might be for a reason. Can't say about everywhere else.
Well, a lot of people don't seem to trust Vista. With no actual proof, obviously. But a lot of people don't trust Vista.
Well, when you have to fight monsters off your homeland, I could see where they're coming from. Not that I particularly agree, seeing as he's been more than kind to attempt to keep me fed for a bit.
And
I'd
where does he
really
get his
hate to
supply?
bite anybody.
Yeah, it would be best to keep that. Not biting people. Start doing that, then we might have a problem.
I don't plan to succumb to this nature, at least for as long as I can. But the point I was trying to make is I'm going to need assistance to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And if you guys are interested in doing something once we move on, once the work here is as done as we're going to get it, perhaps you'd be interested in traveling the dark woods with me?
Speaking, I have my obligations here with the lanterns, but we'll just have to see.
That's fair enough. Just perhaps think on it. I promise I'm not trying to secure some kind of snack or anything for the road. And I will smile.
Well, I hadn't thought of that until you mentioned it.
Now that you said something.
Now I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no.
That's a bad idea. Well, in addition to trying to exactly suss out what the fuck it was in the woods, I'm also trying to keep, or or I'm trying to look for any correspondences between the tomes. There probably won't be, but if there's anything sort of like a hint towards this supposed armory that was rumored that is in this place.
Okay. Give me investigation.
I got that too, I believe. Yes, I do. Because I built this character for a reason. 25?
25, okay. Well.
What do you want, Cat? Yeah, walk over my everything. Thanks. Really appreciate it.
So.
He's gonna sit his butt on the keyboard.
Probably. Brance. Back off, kitty!
He's gonna do it.
Katat.
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 Pasta.
Cat pasta. Well, you come across a couple of books that start describing things, old kind of what has been long wives' tales, varied guesses perhaps as to what certain the origins of certain old wives' tales, fairy tales, and the like are coming from. It seems like a lot of these books here that have been more handwritten have come from a perspective of the lineage of Borisov trying to bring origin to these tales.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of cross-referencing things. You do find some corroboration to a group of fae folk who were essentially cursed by an entity known as the Summer Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And this fae entity has in long since time past banished the treacherous members of her court from the light. To wander in darkness lest they be consumed by it. And you get passages that are referencing that it is also their fate that the light will inevitably consume them. These creatures, hence banished, were known as darklings. And though they were cursed that light was to be their bane, they would be forever tormented by the loss of it.
Yeah, but that one thing did darkness, so that's really weird.
They seem to be a little corrupt, based on what I'm hearing.
They're definitely corrupt.
Regarding to the light, it seems that exposure to it is inevitably lethal to them. And every bit is as it is put, every minute they spend in the light is taken into them. And then at the moment of their death, it is all released.
That explains the flashbangs.
So that their treachery can also harm their own brethren. Their lifespans seem to be short by the records. Only a few surviving long enough to learn how to, in some form or another, harness the power of this light and darkness. And those are held in positions of power amongst their kind.
So a leader of sorts.
They crave after beautiful things, especially those that would reflect light, in an attempt to try and glimpse safely the thing that will kill them.
So like a mirror?
Things like mirrors, candelabras, things that where they can get a glimpse of the beauty in which they're constantly denied. And you do read passages of the Fae being adverse to cold iron. Something about an ancient compact between the spirits of the earth that was essentially that a long-standing pact between earth spirits and Fae that somehow was broken. The tomes you read here haven't been aren't exactly specific, but they do note that, like all traditional Fae, not only does the light harm them, but the spirit, the form of wrought iron is still an aversion to them.
Okay.
But, and that is a majority. That is the practical aspects of what your studies have brought to you. As far as any kind of reference to a location of a treasure trove,
or even potentially like members of, I'm guessing it's part of the Belmont line that would have any kind of
yes,
link or reference to them.
You find references to the old days.
Right.
That the line of the family has gone back. There was much suspicion that there was a trove of either knowledge or armaments over a long and storied career of hunting the darkness in the valley. Some even suspected that it was not even kept within the city itself, and stories of it being under the keep of Borisov was to misdirect potential thieves. You get a lot of conflicting stories and nothing solid there.
Alright, I kind of figured.
Is there anything else people are looking for?
Has little interest in books, so not really.
Well, or you could ask, like, what you would like me to look for. If you have any interest in said contents of books.
I would be interested in looking for any vampiric information that might be stored here.
You can go ahead and give investigation a roll.
$19.
19. So what sort of information are you looking for as far as the vampires go?
Just more basic information, like if somebody had studied vampires and put their weaknesses and strengths and
Something about silver, I believe.
that kind of thing. Not just how to kill them, but just general information about them.
Well,
They're not crazy fun about sunlight.
that is you get a lot of allusions in these things that one of the specific specifically this family that resides here was well known for hunting specifically the undead and even more narrowly vampires themselves. There was rumors that far in their past that there was a kind of partnership made with a particular vampire in order to help exterminate their kind, though no specific names or dates survive in these records.
Amusing.
But it is all but hard-packed. It's just one of those things that is known widely, but with little definitive evidence that this family traffics not traffics, but has been consorting with various supernatural forces to ply their trade.
Yeah, we kind of got that from the guards complaining about the people passing through here.
But the family has always been seen as something to keep a wary eye on, but almost at worst a necessary evil, for without them perhaps worse things could happen. As far as weaknesses and aversions go, it seems pretty basic as to what you would think. Sunlight being a big one. There are conflicting rumors about garlic and running water.
They work to a point.
Weaponry.
Yeah,
They claim armaments of blessed steel. magically enhanced weaponry. Sometimes silver, but again, very iffy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking
Well, that's from this particular uh, stockpile has kind of given to you.
I mean, it's kind of limited, but something,
It is something.
which is more than what I hoped.
Just as long as you get something.
And there is cooperation to the trove. It's just nothing concrete. Now, I'm sure like any journals or shit, whatever she has, does have more concrete thing. But I think we're gonna have to probably kill off the undead threat in town before she even thinks of us letting us look at that. So that's gonna be a long time down the road.
Well, we seem to have some information about what we want to hunt.
Yeah,
But-
we found a way to get rid of darklings, at least.
I do think that we should try to eliminate their undead threats before asking for any more favors or before leaving.
Yeah,
die.
I suppose we could do it. Just worried about collateral.
We'll have to be careful.
So, did you find what you're looking for?
Yes.
It's basically from just past the stairwell. You see Michelle leaned up against the wall.
Yes. I did find an identity to the things we saw in the Godswood, and more credence to the mentioning of an armory that Sonia was indicating. Though nothing concrete, because a lot of the stories are conflicting as far as where it's actually located. And it's probably covered in magic.
Everyone suspected that we've had something over the generations.
Hmm.
Whether it's truth or not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that any kind of establishment in a place as dark and devious as here would have a means of producing tools to defend themselves.
I'd agree. I more so. I hope it's true,
Well, if
and
you're
doubly that if it does exist anywhere around here, that it hasn't already been broken into.
Well, the secret of that probably has to do with the Belmont line itself. As far as they had their own ways of keeping it hidden, so it wouldn't just be broken to and destroyed or robbed or whatever.
It's a crafty bunch.
So what's next on our agenda?
We'll be calling in just a second here.
Do you want me to say them?
Yeah, just for a moment, because basically to get your next steps going.
Okay.
The question being raised as what the next steps are.
We look for cold steel. I think we're gonna need that. And perhaps some kind of fancy lighting sources.
Well, I could create light. I just don't know how effective it is, because it's only a little brighter than like the mushroom forest. Because
Well-
a lot of that was ambient light that they were being exposed to.
Well, what I'm worried about is it seems that they're going to absorb the light, and then when we kill them, they're going to
Explode.
give
But
it back.
But if we overcharge one with it and then make it explode, it could theoretically detonate all over its nearby France and basically create a chain reaction.
So we need to be stealthy, keep a distance, perhaps set up a trap of light to collect them somewhere, and then kill them. But hopefully in one blow before they come at us and start stabbing us in the throat again.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Faye nods in approval at the suggestions of sneaky and ranged.
Well, I have some things that might help keep them where we want them. I only have one thing that might help keep them where we want them. So we could try to set up a trap.
I could cast light on arrow and see what happens.
We could try that too. It's too bad we can't really experiment, seeing as it would be hard to capture one.
No, generally if we come across one, we'll come across more.
Well, I think though
we'll be more careful about just kind of guerrilla tacticking further into the woods when every time we do that, one like more pop up from behind kind of thing.
Yeah, that is an issue, but that's why I want to lay traps for them. But also, I'd really like to get our hands on some cold steel because I'm not sure if the light thing doesn't work, this would be a good fallback.
Yeah, that's true. They took reasonable damage from spells, but we only have as many of those as well. Between yourself, myself, and our sneaky hunter persuasion. Cold iron is going to be hard to get our hands on, though.
They said they had a smith out here. Perhaps we can talk to them. I know they said they don't have anybody working in steel, but perhaps they know something.
Perhaps. Just gives us a pickaxe and be like, go get some.
I really do feel like handling the ones in the Godwoods is our priority over handling the undead around the city.
Well, I feel like we could take care of any undead we come across going back to and from in the city. Or if there's any particular, like, zombie quarters. Like, oh, you don't want to go over to that section. That section's full of fucking noshers.
Yes, but they're something that they know about and they're not extremely worried about, besides the fact that they're a nuisance and also kind of a painful memory for them. But these darklings, they're more of a danger, I believe. So I would like to focus on
Evil spirits.
getting them removed before we deal with the more common
Goodness
elements.
knows how many of them are in the Godswood. We only saw like one of those advanced ones and like almost a dozen of the regular ones.
Well, perhaps we focus on the leader and see. Perhaps if we can distract the minions with a light source.
The leader is definitely going to be a problem because he can darkness, and that will suppress anything I could do remotely light based.
Let's see if they've got any tinkerers around who have something to help with that. Actually, can't I?
Can you make like an incandescent light source?
With the replicate magic item, can I make goggles of light seeing whatever?
I mean, you
Night,
can make
yes.
goggles of night. That just gives you dark vision.
Yeah, I don't know if that does magic dark vision.
Doesn't do magic dark vision. Okay. Then
There's very few
Still-
things that let you see through magical darkness.
That's
Mostly
still
like fucking warlock bullshit.
Yeah, that making a set of those is still not a horrible idea, considering we still have one person in this party who needs a light source that would give us away. If we want to do the sneaky route.
then we'll
All right. Well, on that note, you have a rough plan, and we'll flesh it out next week and get things going. So thanks everybody for hanging around, enjoying, hopefully, our madness once again. Thank you, what is it, Xanderfell, for hanging around in chat. It was good hearing from you. We will be back Friday for... ...
More Wandwood.
More Wanwed. I'm happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. So stay tuned, and yeah, we will we'll be back at you with some more D&D based insanity. So take care of yourselves.